Former Egyptian President Mubarak is back in court for charges of complicity in the murder of protesters. Ajman's elderly home introduces new techniques to preserve cognitive function in its patients. And in Sharjah, Marami magazine awards 2 American University of Sharjah students for entries in their latest forum. Hello and welcome to BBC News. I'm Inas Salamin. Cairo court adjourns Hosni Mubarak's retrial to June 8th. More on this with our reporter Shruq Zakaria.
His health is deemed stable. Former President Hosni Mubarak is wheeled to court, no longer on a stretcher. Mubarak is being retried and has pleaded not guilty to the charges he's facing. The judge has adjourned the trial until June 8 to get more time to assess new evidence. Last year, the ousted leader was sentenced to life imprisonment for his role in killing the protesters during the 2011 uprising. But Mubarak appealed, and a retrial has started last month after procedural failings in the original trial were reported. The hearing was supposed to start last month before the judge withdrew. Former Interior Minister Habib al-Adli, along with Mubarak's sons Ala and Gamal, are also being retried on corruption charges. Although Mubarak's supporters and opponents have gathered to voice their opinions outside the court, the public interest in the trial seems lower. Perhaps Egyptians have lost hope that justice will take place.
At this time, I don't trust anyone, not even the court overseeing the trial. I have no hope they'll ensure justice for my son or any martyr. My whole life has been turned upside down.
But President Mohamed Morsi's committee has recently said it will submit new evidence to the courts, including forensic reports and testimonials from witnesses. Will this increase the public interest once again in Mubarak's trial? This is a question that only time will answer. Shruq Zakaria, BBC, Cairo.
With dementia plaguing the elderly, nursing homes look for new ways to keep their residents sharp. More on this with Inas Salamin. For the older members of society, dementia is an ever-present threat, and these Ajman elderly home residents are certainly not immune. In keeping with the new strategies advised by the Ministry of Labour and Social Affairs, the home has introduced a new brain exercise room. The opening of this new facility, which is sponsored by the Majid Al Futtaim Group, promises to offer several improvements for the elderly. However minor such improvements are expected to be, the global impact of dementia on health makes them all the more important.
The goal of this room is to slow down the progression of dementia in our patients. So what we do here exactly, we do a mini mental state examination for each patient to process the changes in the patient, the changes of dementia in each patient. We use the suitable games for each patient, like we have memory games, attention games, and language also.
In addition to improving memory and slowing the progression of dementia, this room aims to motivate the elderly to improve their lifestyle. The specialists at this home provide a number of other services to aid their patients.
في عندنا قسم العلاج الطبيعي، هذا نشاط يوميا يعملون المسنين. نحن عندنا قسم اسم الرعاية المنزلية اللي هي قسم خاص في فريق كامل متخصص ينزل للمسنين في منازلهم. يقدم الخدمات الصحية واللي هو العلاج الطبيعي والرعاية الأولية الطبية، يعني قياس ضغط، سكر، متابعة صحة المسن، تنسيق بين المستشفى وبين المسن يعني، وخدمات اجتماعية.
The center not only aims to care for the mental and physical well-being of its residents, but it also seeks to enhance their cognitive functions with the help of such new facilities. This is Inas Salamin reporting from Ajman. Marami magazine has awarded 2 students from the American University of Sharjah for participating in the Forum for Future Female Journalists. Farah Nada has more.
Arab television offers a variety of singing programs and talent competitions. But why do viewers lack interest in scientific and educational programs? This is the issue that 2 students from the American University of Sharjah have tackled in a short documentary. Marami magazine has presented the video during the opening session of the Forum for Future Female Journalists. The magazine has awarded journalism students Shruq Zakaria and Rizana Aweti for their participation.
So the topic of the video that me and Razan, my colleague, have done was about the educational programs versus the entertainment programs like X Factor. So the message that I actually conveyed and the solution for it was, why don't we combine the entertainment programs with the scientific?
Organizers have stated that the purpose of the forum is to train female journalists for their careers in media.
ملتقى إعلاميات المستقبل ملتقى سنوي ينظمه المكتب الثقافي بالمجلس الأعلى لشؤون الأسرة. من أهدافه طبعا تبادل الخبرات والآراء في القضايا المتعلقة بالمهنة وتشجيع على المشاركة في وضع الخطط المستقبلية للإعلام الوطني.
During the forum, students have engaged in a discussion about the quality of the programs on Arabic television. Reem Ubaidat has also conducted a workshop where she has addressed the issues faced by female journalists.
Media content today is torn between the need to meet the entertainment desires of its viewers and its responsibility to educate and inform its societies. The Forum for Future Female Journalists poses this question: how do we increase the demand for educational programs in Arab media? This is Farah Nada reporting from Sharjah.
In America, police arrest a second suspect in the New Orleans Mother's Day shooting. Indonesia's largest private carrier, Lion Air, faces tough scrutiny as it recovers from its sixth landing accident in the last decade. Find out the details of the ongoing investigation after the break. Welcome back. Police have arrested a second suspect in the recent New Orleans shooting. Farah Nada tells us more.
While violence is not unusual for residents of New Orleans, the recent Mother's Day shootings have turned a day of celebration into a national tragedy. New Orleans police have arrested Sean Scott, the second suspect in the shooting. Sean's brother, Akin Scott, was also apprehended in connection with the parade violence. Police have stated that the incident injured 20 people, including 2 children.
There was a 10-year-old girl, we believe, who suffered a graze wound.
Most of the victims have been released from hospital, but 3 people remain in critical condition. Both suspects are now facing 20 counts of attempted second-degree murder. Akin Scott was first identified after footage of the shooting was released. The footage shows a man charging towards a crowd of people as they try to take cover.
Akin Scott has already appeared before a magistrate court, and his bail has been set at $10 million. The next hearing is scheduled on July 16th. This is Farah Nada, BBC, New Orleans.
Lion Air gets its 6th blow in 10 years after another of its planes crashes into the sea. A report outlining the incident does not bode well for the world's fastest-growing airline. More on this with Inas Salamin. While the last of this wrecked Lion Air jet has been removed from Bali's waters, the investigation into the causes of the crash raises concerns for the airline. The April 13th incident saw the Boeing 737 undershooting the runway and slamming into the sea during landing. Despite the plane cracking in half upon impact, the jet's 108 passengers and crew have all survived. In a preliminary report, Indonesia's National Transportation Safety Committee has blamed poor pilot training for the crash. The report reveals that the 24-year-old co-pilot called out twice at 1,000 feet altitude that he could not see the runway. The weather had changed so quickly that a burst of heavy rainfall obstructed his view. The co-pilot then handed the controls to the pilot in command at 150 feet altitude, or 1 minute and 6 seconds before the crash. Right before the impact, Captain Ghazali tried to abort the landing, but it was too late. The passengers say there was no warning that the plane was going to crash.
Pesawat kita kecelakaan itu nggak tahu ya ada kecelakaan karena itu pemberitahuan mau landing kan. Katanya sebentar lagi mau landing, tapi tahu-tahu nggak landing malah langsung bam gitu, jadi nabrak gitu, kayak nabrak gitu, ngedadak gitu.
The report rules out underlying mechanical issues with the new jet. Lion Air received this particular aircraft just 2 months before the crash. The plane had only completed 140 hours of flight.
Pesawat ini kami terima pada bulan Maret tahun ini, jadi baru beroperasi 2 bulan. Baru beroperasi 2 bulan, jadi pesawat baru yang kami terima langsung dari pabrik. Kami terima langsung dari pabrik. Pesawat tersebut diterbangkan oleh Kapten Ghazali yang punya jam terbang sudah lebih dari
The report recommends that Lion Air should review the policy and procedures regarding changeover of control at critical altitudes. The report also warns that pilots must be properly trained. With Lion Air signing record plane orders, the crash has serious implications for its reputation. This is the 6th incident Lion Air has suffered in the last 10 years, and the 4th in 16 months. Earlier this year, the airline signed a deal with Airbus for 234 passenger jets worth $24 billion. Just 2 years before, it signed a deal with Boeing for 230 planes, making it one of the world's fastest-growing airlines.
Lion Air is now fighting to be removed from a European Union safety blacklist. The final crash report is expected to be released within the next 12 months. Meanwhile, Lion Air pilots fear the consequences. Ines Salamin, BBC News, Jakarta.
The American University of Sharjah celebrates the 75th anniversary of Thornton Wilder's play Our Town. Shuruq Zakaria has more.
The Performing Arts program at the American University of Sharjah takes its audience by surprise. Students and faculty attending this year's play have witnessed a unique kind of performance, a play with no props. Thornton Wilder's Our Town reflects the simple life of families in the early 20th century in the American town Grover's Corners. The surroundings are created only with chairs, tables, and ladders.
Well, George.
This absence of scenery is Wilder's way to demand the audience imagination of the past. An interaction with the audience throughout the play was also present. The stage manager, played by a professor of English, Victoria Amador, narrates to the audience and guides them through the story. At one moment, the bride even throws her bouquet at an audience member. Marking its 75th anniversary, the play's universal themes that revolve around love, marriage, and death still relate to the audience.
Although it's old, but it talks about everyone's or every person's life. Like they start with like kids going to school, getting in love and getting married, and then they eventually die. It just was touching for I think for every one of us because it's personal also.
Our Town, that won Pulitzer Prize for Drama, focuses on the human emotions, creating character depth.
I think people connect to and love about the play and the characters in it is that they're very innocent, they're very good people, and that's why they connect to them, and that's how they feel bad at the end, and that's how they connect emotionally.
Director Anthony Tassa describes the audience's reaction to the play that was performed for 4 nights.
Script. It's one of those scripts that is really flawless in how it's written, and the playwright really carries you all the way through from, learning about the town, then learning about love and marriage, and then it surprises you in that third act. And I think the third act especially really grabbed everybody, and I think for the most part the audiences were very moved by it.
Do human beings ever realize life, why they live it every minute? This is a question that Our Town has left the audience with. This is Shuruq Zakaria reporting from Sharjah.
You are watching BBC News. Thanks for joining us. For more information, please visit our website bbcnews.com. Good night.